Cannabis advocates debate whether social equity fees should increase. Because Jesus Christ, let's make social equity less equitable. The ongoing debate over New Jersey's cannabis industry has taken a new turn as advocates push for an increase in the state's social equity excise fee. The fee, which currently stands at $1.24 per ounce, aims to channel revenue from recreational marijuana sales towards social equity projects and communities impacted by the war on drugs. The Cannabis Regulatory Commission is set to meet this Wednesday to determine what the fee will be for 2025. Activists, including Marlena Ubel from New Jersey Policy Perspective, argue that now is the time to significantly raise the fee, proposing an increase to $30 per ounce. $30 per ounce. Ubel points out that New Jersey has some of the lowest cannabis taxes in the country and believes a higher fee could fund essential community programs. The social equity fee has varied since its introduction, initially set at $1.10 in 2022 and peaking at $1.52 and generating around $2.6 million in 2024. But despite recommendations for using the funds for youth programs and community reinvestment, none of the money has yet been allocated. Not everyone supports the proposed hike. Todd Johnson, representing the New Jersey Cannabis Trade Association, warns that a dramatic increase could hurt the market by driving up prices for consumers and possibly pushing some buyers back to the unregulated market. Prices could climb by at least 15%, he predicts. Meanwhile, advocates like Amy Kachali from the ACLU say maximizing the fee is essential for repairing the harm done by drug enforcement policies in communities of color. As the state continues to shape its cannabis policy, the decisions on the social equity fee could mark a pivotal moment for the New Jersey cannabis industry. The commission's decision will impact both businesses and communities, with advocates and industry leaders closely watching what happens next. I obviously have a lot of thoughts on this. First of all, $30 per ounce as an additional fee is insane. No one is going to pay that. Period, point blank, ever in the history of everdom, because why would they unless they're absolutely stupid? Second of all, none of this money's actually been used for any of the programs that it's supposed to provide for. I don't see any of this being a targeted measure. Community reinvestment sounds like general fund to me. It doesn't sound like directed initiatives that are going to repair the war on drugs harm. Like, that's what these programs should be doing. And also, you shouldn't look to this industry to repair the damage that was done by the government to this industry. That's ridiculous. It's like saying, Jason, I punched you in the face, fix it yourself. Didn't I help you? So I'm going to throw it back to you guys, but this is just, New Jersey is getting this wrong.
I totally agree with you, Jenny Beth. I can't even believe that they're having this conversation in this way. To me, it's crazy, and New Jersey is such a thriving market right now that this is only going to impede it.
And the argument that they have some of the lowest taxes in the country, yes, don't you hear the rest of us screaming, help, help, we're bleeding out of our butt, they shot us in the ass, we can't pay these taxes. Like, why would you do this?
Because it's actually it's to keep small players out of the market and let the big players with institutional wealth in. It's the same thing they did in California. They put in a Trojan horse of no vertical integration and an acre cap and all of these falsehoods, and once everybody voted for it, they removed it. It was specifically so those folks who have access to the reservoir and the reserves can take over the market, establish the market, and be ready for the takeover by big pharma and big tobacco. None of this is on accident. This is how capitalism works. That's the funniest thing about all of this is capitalism. What's happening right now in cannabis. Here's what has been happening over the last few decades in America, with Walmart taking over and destroying the mom and pop grocery stores, with Home Depot taking over and destroying the mom and pop hardware stores, Amazon.com coming and destroying all of the booksellers and more of these small knickknack and thrift stores. Like, all of this is the same thing. Capitalism is about aggregation of capital and resources into the fewest hands possible. It's about having a few super billionaires, everybody else being indentured servants and serfs. This is how capitalism works. Reason why these governments are doing it is because the governments are in line and in league with these capitalist for-profit corporations, large investment banks, institutions, and hedge funds. They're all the same people, and they pay all the bills.
I'm just really disappointed that after all the spicy back and forth on today's show, that we are going to end with a story where we probably actually all 100% agree.
Because we got shit to do today, Yarrow.
Well,
besides being interrupted, which is that that here we've got well-intended outcomes trying to be born on the back of the regulated industry. An increased tax is a gift to the trap more than anything else. And these noble programs deserve to have funding mechanisms that don't require that they be amortized over this new industry. I just couldn't agree with Jenny more that this is terrible and well-intended. And so it's like charging a rape victim for a rape kit. It's disgusting that we think that the regulated industry that is barely off the ground in a state that hasn't been recreational for but a minute, that they should be paying all of this money to fund worthy causes. And this article quotes Leo Bridgewater, and I would trust him to have a sense of the pulse in that state about what's happening. And he's like, no, this is terrible. This is going to be terrible for small businesses. Some of those small businesses are social equity themselves, and this is yet another nail in the coffin. So it's super disappointing that I think the ACLU got it wrong on this one, because I think, generally speaking, they're not in that position. And the idea that this industry needs to fund the correcting of harms that has been done is just, as Leo said, it's tone deaf.
Mm-hmm. Well, fair enough.